Uh, like I said every time, right? So I will introduce to the people behind the curtain. My mean is like you love player, you love a kabaddi hero, but you never knew who made them and what is the difficult behind that making a hero, and what is the challenges they face, especially out of India, in Europe side or Western countryside. How did they attract to kabaddi, and how they manage their personal life and kabaddi. So today, my guest is from Kenya Sports Kabaddi Federation, Mr. Matthew. He is a president, and we will ask him, right, how that far kabaddi travel, right? How did he heard the name of kabaddi? How did he attach? So let's go to the Matthew. Matthew, good evening.
Good evening to you too, Mr. President.
Welcome, sparing a time for the kabaddi lover, right? And thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Could you tell me
Thank you.
about yourself, Matthew?
My name's Matthew Mwangi.
Okay.
I'm the founder of Kabaddi here in Kenya.
Okay.
And, having introduced Kabaddi here 2011,
Okay.
I came 2012. Sorry, I came across Kabaddi uh, through some guys from Iran,
Okay.
where we were doing a sport called Zurukane. It's an Iranian sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I did so well in introduction for Zurukane here in Africa.
Yeah.
We held our first seminar in Uganda. I
Mm-hmm.
was a much the best student. We went and held another one in Zimbabwe.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, we went to Maputo. That was 2011 with the same
Okay.
Zurukane. We did so well. We had a beautiful seminar over there, competition in Maputo, and Kenya emerged the winner again. So, sports, it's very, brings people together,
Yep.
and it's very wide.
Yeah. This is the cold sports.
So,
Yes.
yes, so when guys that I didn't know in the world of Kabaddi
Mm-hmm.
wanted to introduce Kabaddi in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
But luckily enough, as we were wondering, they got people from Iranian who had introduced me to you know who introduced me to them to spread Kabaddi here in Africa. So what we did after that, I got a call from India.
Mm-hmm.
I got a call from India, and they told me they have been referred to me by Iranian, that is Rukane,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been told how I have played part in the spread of the Rukane in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and they would want me to do the same with with Kabaddi. They told me they have three styles. I spoke to one gentleman by then,
Mm-hmm.
and they told me he sent me some link up on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me they had three styles. They had the indoor.
Mm-hmm.
Now indoor has gotten so many names.
Mm-hmm.
It's called indoor, national, or traditional.
Okay.
But all the same, it's we had the indoor, circle, and beach kabaddi.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that we were supposed to do by then was a circle kabaddi. So I took, I ran a gym, and I took my taekwondo for taekwondo because by professional I'm a taekwondo coach.
Mm-hmm.
I have also done sports science.
Okay.
So what do we do? I took my boys, for fun, playing kabaddi, and I took a small clip and I sent to them, and they told me, "Oh yes, but for this we want, guys who are huge."
Mm-hmm.
And it's not been an easy, my brother. It's not been an easy,
Easy
journey,
game.
easy game, especially journey and introduction, because getting the kind of people that I was meant to get, I had to go to nightclubs.
Mhm.
Get those, the security guy bouncers at the entry, introducing myself. They don't know me, telling them about these sports and how it's played. After showing them clips,
Mm.
they had that interest, and I told them it's not going to cost you anything to try.
Mm.
So we set up, a training venue, and we met there, and they liked it. So upon sharing the clip again with the India Kabaddi Federation, they told me, "Wow, this is good. I think we can send you a coach." We
Mm.
did so well. We trained so well, and they said, "You know what? For experience, for your hard work, we are going to invite you to come for the World Cup. For the World Cup." I think that was the third World Kabaddi.
So what?
Um,
So when did you went to the India for the first World Cup?
2012.
2012. And tell me,
Yes,
how hard was that to bring team together in the first time?
it was difficult. People were excited, but
Mm.
at the same time, everybody was excited, and apparently by the time we decided to do the selection, we had quite a number of people.
Mm.
The selection was even difficult, mainly because the people that I was getting, some of these people, they didn't have passports,
Mhm.
and to process the passport, definitely you need money. They didn't even have money, so I had to dig in my pocket, finance though that I could, and if I could not be able to do that, it was too bad. But not, some, but the majority had the passport. But the reason why I had to work hard to assist them is because they had the skills.
So
So we,
what are the other challenges? Like, um, did you pay by your sports authority or paid by India to do that?
uh, of course, getting visas, which was about 80, $90, was on us, not even the government. They would not even sponsor something that they don't know, which is very new in the market. And of course, the players as well, those who had to collect their own passports, they had to go, to do it by themselves. We didn't get any support from the government. The government does not support you any financially, any new sports. They actually don't come back with the time you know, as the time goes by. We've seen some interest in them.
So it's not like in India. Suppose in India, there are
Mhm.
coaches like kabaddi coaches and the other coaches, and they've been paid to do this job to train kabaddi team, or when they go away with the team, they've been paid. Is that same thing in Kenya?
Uh, Not really. I think three times, and actually twice, we've had an Indian coach here.
Mm.
We we reached an agreement with the Kabaddi Federation from India that they will pay for the air ticket,
Hmm.
whereas we cater for his local accommodation,
Okay.
local expenses, that is. And we don't have sponsors, so again, that burden lands on me. So I have to make sure that I find a way where coach is going to sleep,
Mm.
eat, of course, take him around. I got some few friends who came on board and helped me, and even show him around. But in terms of paying the coach allowance, you've not had.
How did you balance your family life and your work? Like in Western country, you have to work for survive like the other country, but here, if you said you not been paid and you have to work for your family and then training for kabaddi and your family times, how did you manage?
I'll give you an example whereby I took my team to Uganda.
Hmm.
I took two teams, of course, comprising of 12 players each because we had gone to play circle and rectangle.
Okay.
Uh, I had to pay you know, uh, for their ticket to
Hmm.
and fro. But unfortunately, it's quite expensive. It's about $1,000 US.
Hmm.
But the Tanzania took care of our stay there. But we exceeded, so again I had to pay for another extra day for their sleeping, their full board.
Oh,
Now, balancing the two has also been another challenge, because I need to, when I'm supposed to work, nobody is willing to work for free. So when I'm seeing an opportunity here, and I'm hoping to, I'm willing to work and maybe support, become a little bit, challenging, whereby I need to balance time to go to work
mm,
and make a living,
mm,
and free time, to monitor what players they are doing.
yeah,
And apparently, you cannot take a player to train 3 times a week. They train 1 hour, and they expect it to be effective when it comes for competition.
okay.
So you also see the challenge the players they have. Some of these people, again, as I said, by professional, they are nightclub bouncers. We call them bouncers, security.
Security bonds, yeah.
So they work at night when they're supposed to go to bed. They don't go to bed, or maybe they just take a nap, then they come for the training again.
Wow,
You train these people who are living from hand to mouth.
yeah,
They also need energy, so they need to eat. So where does that food come from?
wow.
Again, from my pocket. It's been a long journey, but I'm ready to take the risk. The challenge, let me put it, because I know Kabaddi, at the end of the day, if well taken care of,
Hmm.
it will definitely go a long way.
So how many time you been to the international events with the team?
Um, we've been international competition for 4 times.
Okay.
The first time we went was 2012,
Hmm.
2013,
Okay.
and unfortunately, as we were preparing 2014, something came up in India, so if the competition was cancelled.
Hmm.
2015, when again we were finalizing everything again, there was Ebola in western part of Kenya, and they said Africa has Ebola.
Yeah, yeah.
Too bad, we're in the eastern part of Africa. We also got affected. We could not travel. They said Africa has Ebola. So we took a break again, but again we went there. But by the time we were going there on 2016, I
Hmm.
had a very composed team, patients,
Hmm.
guys who had really seen my vision and dream, and their performance was great, was brilliant.
Wow.
I have never had a strong team like I have had in 2016, and I'm so proud. And I wish India could have taken more of our players for any league. They could have taken more of our player for any league.
Yeah.
That way, they get to attract more, and they get to make more people, uh, want to join Kabaddi, because they feel there is a living. They make a living out of it, rather.
Yeah, because it's on and off, right? Because if there's a one
Yes.
event in a international event in a year, right? And
Mm,
how can people attach with the kabaddi for long? So
mm.
when is the event is finished, right? So players don't train or they train continuously.
Uh, Sometimes they feel a little bit disappointed. For example, last year they were meant to come for the World Cup, that is
Mm,
national indoor kabaddi in Malaysia.
mm,
Then we could not raise our air ticket,
mm,
so we didn't come. We were not able to attend the World Cup.
mm,
But same time we had a World Cup for Sako Kabaddi.
mm.
Now the challenge that we are having from where we are seated is that we have not received, the players have not received their allowances as promised. Excuse me, as promised by the host in Punjab. So we are still waiting.
Okay. Just tell me, is that a lack of sponsorship and funding on your way to develop more in Kenya or the player?
Please come again.
You know, in Kenya, is that the
Mm.
more challenge to getting a player or getting a sponsorship or funding?
Players, they want everything, but whenever you're going for any competition outside,
Yeah.
we get a support from our host. But
Okay.
when you're talking about allowance, we expect the government to pay, our local government, which they hardly do that. They have they have done that few times with whenever we are taking teams for the national style,
Yeah. Mm.
but nothing much we have seen. However, I won't sit on them so much
Mhm.
because as we speak right now, we were told to compile the list
Yeah.
for Kabaddi players who are active and they are not employed. And due to COVID effect, the government is hoping to give them a bit of allowance upkeep.
So, what did you see the difference, right? Like a kabaddi now is a flourish, right? And there's a league in India, okay, and the players
Mm,
are getting a millions, okay.
mm,
How did you see, and how you want to suggest if somebody watching in India, for example, right? So, what do you
mm,
want to
mm,
tell them to develop kabaddi more outside of India? So, what need
mm.
to be done?
I think what we did the other day, we agreed with our leader here in Africa because we don't have a sponsor, we don't have funds, we can't have a Africa Kabaddi Championship.
Mhm,
We are going to hold 4 quarters,
mhm,
whereby we have South, East,
mhm,
Northern, and Eastern Africa and Central Africa. Eastern Africa, we have Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Somali, and Ethiopia. We'll be holding our competition there,
mhm,
um, whereby we definitely, we'll be able to reach and we agree what are we supposed to do per country. That way, we'll be able to spread Kabaddi quarterly and we share and probably we come up with a magazine
mhm,
to help each other and so that we can also reach other people outside there and maybe come up with a Kabaddi calendar
mhm,
which has which has photos. It's a near calendar, the normal calendar that you hang
mhm.
in your home, in your house.
Yeah.
We have the same with the Kabaddi photos, and of course for Africa, we see how far we can go. But however, when I compare, of course, India and maybe Europe
Mhm,
and US, they have come a long way to be where they have and to have players who have been, who have been played. But
mhm.
I'm also trying to compare with a few countries like Iran, whereby Iran, they have taken Kabaddi to the next level and
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah. After India,
The
yes.
local government, yes, the local government is supporting them. But before we get there, what do we need from the world body? We need a lot of exposure. We need a lot of exposure and encouragement because we have good players and they bear witness that we've had good players that have really shown skills and
Mhm,
talent and they are young and they are going to go a long way. If they are not given exposure internationally, they'll go to waste. They even sit down and they feel, oh, I cannot spare this time for this.
mhm.
And you see, these are the same players that we are looking upon to influence others who are willing to join Kabaddi and have more, have more players on board.
So, how is a kabaddi look in Kenya? Do you have a in school teams or clubs or the national teams? How is the development in Kenya?
We are headed there. We have like 7 schools
Mhm,
which are doing Kabaddi.
mhm,
Sometimes they do it for fun. But again, it's through that you understand a baby is not born running or walking.
mhm.
They start from maybe crawling, and before you know it, they're standing. Before you know it, they are running,
Yeah.
not only walking. So the same thing is there. We are trying to find our foundation from above, not from below.
Mhm,
We'll take a good example, rather give you a good example with the growth of rugby here in Kenya. For rugby to be where they are, they started with the colleges and universities. So anyone who loves rugby from high school, they realize that there is Kabaddi in college or in the university,
Yeah.
they feel good. They want to continue doing it. But if you start from the grassroots and whenever they go up there, for example, when you start it in primary school, and they realize this is something, a sport they are going to drop when they go to school, when they go to high school, secondary school, that is in university, what is the need? So our foundation for Kabaddi is coming from above. We are starting in collaboration with KUSA, that is a sports organization for the universities.
Mm-hmm.
We are starting from the universities, colleges, coming to high schools,
Mm-hmm.
and if all go well, then we can go to
Yeah.
primary schools.
Yeah.
That is what we are doing. And so far, we have players. I remember 2012
Mm-hmm.
and 2016, we had players
Yeah.
from the universities. And that was a plus to us. And after that, the university wanted to hold a meeting with us.
Okay.
And we held a meeting. We are waiting for the elections, which is supposed to be conducted soon. Then after that, they are ready to adapt Kabaddi. But individually,
yeah.
we have players who are from the university, although not the institute. Individual, we have players who are doing Kabaddi.
I think maybe you don't get what you want to get because what you've done for Kabaddi. But I remember I'm the witness last year in India. Yes, maybe the Kenya didn't win the international championship in India, Punjab, right? But
Yes.
I saw they won people's heart. Everybody was talking about Kenya, your team. Is that true?
Yes. Yes, they were. We were actually very proud.
Yeah.
And we were hoping, quite a number of guys got our contact.
Okay.
And we were hoping they could put us in the league. I don't know, it's called Young Kabaddi.
Okay.
And we are hoping they are going to, if not a whole team, they are going to pick a few players to go, and play for the league that was supposed to be there from March. Unfortunately, here comes COVID-19.
Yeah, that's
So their dreams.
it's everywhere. It's a stop everything. Okay, and
Yes.
anything as I know you are the Secretary General for the African Kabaddi Federation. Is anything coming next for the competition? Anything plans for the next competition?
We actually had a good calendar, which we run half, quarterly. And we were hoping it was supposed to be effective from April.
Okay.
But now COVID and gathering people together, it has been banned here in Africa, in Kenya.
Oh, right.
So for now, we have put everything on hold. But we have new countries like from South Africa. We have Zambia. We have Namibia. They are coming on board. So we also want to take advantage so that we can have them registering. And Lesotho, not forgetting Lesotho. Those are new nations that I'm in communication with. And they are in contact. I have given the Secretary General, World Kabaddi, their contact so that he can tell them the requirements and what they need to do. So we are not sitting and waiting for COVID so that we can start working. In one way or the other, we are still at work.
So active, so still active on the COVID. Right?
We are still at work, yes.
So how did you see the Kabaddi future in Africa, all over Africa, in coming years?
I think Western country and India should be very afraid. The body anatomy of African, body anatomy of African has been defined, has its own definition.
Okay, that's
and
good.
how
true.
Yes,
that's true.
They have something we call fast and slow twitch. And the moment they adapt a sport, and the moment they are trained, they are go-getters. Trust you me. If we have the support that the Western country they have, the India they have, here in Africa, not only in Kenya, but in Africa, the competition is going to be stiff.
You will get the
So the
support,
future is
right?
bright.
And you will get there. This is my belief, right? The way you people doing it, the way people put their passion and the trust in the Kenyan Kabaddi and the
Yes.
training and everything, right? I know I can see the future. They
Thank
will
you.
be good for that. Anything you want to say, the Kabaddi lover, Kabaddi world, who they remembering their heroes and supporting the heroes. So behind the curtain, people like you who done the hard
Yes.
work. So what you want to say those people? What are your messages?
I think we've had the heroes who are unseen and those who are known and those who are unknown.
Okay,
So
unsung
if the
hero,
World
unsung
Cup,
hero.
yes. So if the world body can organize an event that
Okay,
can be held maybe once a year, that
okay,
is a Hero Kabaddi Cup or something,
okay,
and we invite those people, we bring those people on board, and they
okay.
can say Heroes Kabaddi does not belong to India, for example, alone. So if Heroes World Kabaddi is supposed to be held in India this time,
Mm.
it can be brought here in Africa as well. Of course, I would say Kenya.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it can be brought here. And
okay,
definitely, we are so grateful for this far they have brought Kabaddi. We are not going to let them down. We
okay.
will take Kabaddi to the next level. And
Yeah.
to the next level, we mean Commonwealth and the Olympics.
Yeah, that's I think everybody's a dream, and I think with the help and support from every country, each country, one day will achieve the
Yes,
goal. That's my belief.
yes,
And the
yes,
passion you people have, passion the player have, passion you get and sports you get from the Africa, Kenya, and Robbie. I know that, right? I think
yes,
one day, yes, and Africa will be the home of kabaddi. Like people
yes.
said India, but I will say Africa. You know, the player,
Mm,
they got the passion, they got the agility, they got the strength, right? And only just the
mhm.
funding. When we get the fund, when we get the better organized, I think Africa will be the home of kabaddi. This is my belief.
Thank you. Thank you for believing in us. And we'll take Kabaddi definitely to the next level and hoping that World Cup will one day, one
Yes.
day
Yep.
be held
Yes.
in Africa.
Yes. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much to believing the kabaddi. Thank you.
Thank,
Thank you very
thank you
much.
for having me. Thank you for
Thank you.
having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I appreciate.
God bless.
Amen. God bless you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, this was a Matthew, and he was from Nairobi. He's a president of Kenyan Sports Federation, and also he's the Secretary General of Kenyan Kabaddi Federation. And those was his view. So I hope you like it. And if we said anything wrong about anybody, and we say sorry. And thanks for watching, and keep watching. And we will bring somebody else next time. So keep watching Kabaddi Co. Thank you.